strategic plan we'll be speaking about. We want to show you how, through your support, solidarity, we came to have a Kenya human rights movement premise.
30 years ago, a vision was sparked and a movement began. For 3 decades, the Kenya Human Rights Commission has remained steadfast in its belief in dignity, freedoms, and social justice in Kenya and beyond. KHRC has done this through relentlessly challenging oppression, defending the voiceless, and holding the powerful accountable.
The history of Khrc begins all the way from the US, where 4 Kenyans met who are in exile: Maina Kiai, Dr. Wid Mutunga, Kiraito Burungi, and Professor Peter Karethi. They were in exile because of the kind of work they were doing in the country against communism. So they felt like there was a need to do something about Kenya while they were there in exile. So that's how they came up with the idea of forming Khrc.
And in 1994, KHRC was registered as a non-governmental organization, NGO, that's what's called NGO, under the 1993 NGOs Coordination Act.
These people who formed Khrc were quite progressive and very radical. So this institution is born from a very transformative and radical political culture. So our work is basically political. We are normally very clear about that. We are a political organization because we challenge power, which leads to human rights violations.
As the future beckons, the Kenya Human Rights Commission now unveils its new premise, wholly owned by the Commission and a vital asset in human rights advocacy.
And it's not uncommon for organizations to aspire to have their own premises.
Part of my KRAs was to ensure KHRC is institutionally viable and sustainable. And part of it I found was to get KHRC a home.
19 years ago, around May 2005, our former ED came to us, and that time she was called Wanjiku Miano. She came to us as staff, and she told us she has engaged with the board, and they have agreed that we acquire a property.
This property was owned by a private company. They were selling it, so that's we made the deal, and then now the next step was to do the development, as you see it now, from a single-story house to turn it into the offices that would meet our requirements.
On the design, on that I have to give, my board chair, who is an architect. There he took the lead.
That was my role now as part of the project management with Peter Mbage on the KHRC side.
The construction took almost over 1 year because they completed in December last year.
The work we do is quite stressful on staff. And the least you can do is try to make them comfortable so that they can focus on the real issues. A staff will not be able to fight for somebody else's right if her right or his right is not being taken care of.
Situated within a serene suburb with ample outdoor space, the location is excellent for holding press briefings and other advocacy activities. The building now boasts a large boardroom that adequately supports internal meetings and hosting partners who need the space.
Some of our partners are able to come when they have issues, they come use our boardroom. We don't charge them. Rather than taking a meeting to a hotel, we do it here. That means you'll be able to do more than you would have done before with less money.
The people-centered design also includes a large kitchen that serves meals to the staff and that can accommodate meals for external partner meetings and conferences. Staff now carry out their mandate in spacious offices that let in natural light and are styled in an open design that encourages collaboration in the many human rights issues they address.
All that is towards ensuring we manage our costs and making the place more hospitable and trying to get everything we do in-house as much as we can
The design also focuses on inclusivity, making room for a creche where young parents can find support with childcare while at work.
It was quite intentional from the design perspective to include a creche in the design for our mothers who are our staff. And if a mother needs to come to work to respond to an urgent intervention, can come with the house help, and the kid can stay in the creche. We'll see the parent can decide to work from the creche.
So we came here by the end of March, but we are fully settled from 1st of April this year.
The way you feel when you have built your own home and you've gone in with the whole family and sat down, and it's that feeling of security.
Once you acquire this kind of property, is a political statement to those in power that we are not going anywhere, and that Khrc, as Professor Macau used to say, Khrc is permanent, is reversible, is revocable. So we are permanent and we are here to stay.
The new premises owned by the Kenya Human Rights Commission proves that KHRC is going nowhere and is doubling down on its fight for human rights. This is the home that shall host the next decades of courage and commitment to continue pushing for a society of free people.
This is your home. This is where we are going to conspire and end dictatorship.
Thank you so much, Ernest. So now I'd like to invite our Mr. Challenge to Power, Malombe, our ED, our CEO, but I'd like the DJ to welcome him. I've never seen him dancing. So make sure, wait, Malombe, pause. Music hasn't started, please. And then you come dancing.
Viva, comrades, viva. Hey, it's very hard to speak without a political worship song. Here, Yahweh. Here, Yah, yeah, 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 yeah. Here, Yahweh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here, yeah.
I want you to clap like this for Iyaya.
Thank you so much. Very excited to be part of today's program and also session. It's a journey. We have worked as a commission for a long time. We have been working on this strategy, I think, for almost 3 years. And this is going to be our 6th strategic plan. I was just doing some counts. The first one was during the times of Maina, 98 to 203, which was the formative strategy. We had the other one, 203 to 2012. It was called Vision 2012. It was about rooting human rights into communities and also pushing for a human rights state. And that was also achieved in a very big way. When there was the first elections after the new constitution, we came with the third one for 2013, 2015. That was very short, but the board said it has to be interim because there was no rupture in the context in which we were working, because we had just gotten a new government under William Ruto. So things were not very clear. So we said we adopt an interim strategy, and this was revised in 2015, which then took us to 2020. After that, there was a bit of challenge of getting the new strategy because of COVID, and also transitions in the institution and also in the country, because we're also going through the next elections. So between that time, 2020 and right now, we worked with the board and we came up with what we're calling strategic roadmaps. I remember there's one after Diani chair in 2021, we got guidelines which now helped us to navigate a bit as we worked on this final strategy. So this is number 6, which is for 2025. 2035 is a 10-year strategy. The first one we are doing, I think this is the second one, because the second one was 2003, 2012. So this is the second time we are doing a long-term strategy for 10 years. We are calling it a democratic state and society for consolidating people's sovereign power so that they are able to claim and demand their rights. And this, we are calling it a transformative strategy, because we are saying everything we are going to do is supposed to deliver progressive change in the way Khrc conducts its affairs, and also in the way Khrc engages with the emerging challenges of the society. And it's also different in so many ways, but it also builds on the legacy of the work we have been doing for the last 30 plus years. And a lot of that legacy work has been documented in the report we launched in December last year when we were celebrating that years. And I'm sure, Ernest, there are copies which can be shared with team members, where we try to look at all the years we have worked, what is outstanding. And by the way, that idea of doing that work came from Kwam. Yeah, Kwam came to me and told me, when we are doing 30 years, I think we need to look at the high level impact areas, and he helped us think through that. So more of that can be found in that document, which is available physically and online. But allow me to say just a number of things which are critical on this new strategy. Number one, we are launching it in the context where the society has changed so much, and I know our chair will talk about that, because he's deeply embedded in this global conversation about where the society is, where we are facing serious recession for democracy, weakening of the human rights systems and mechanisms, but again also in the context where the youth is also raising up, and we have also a very progressive constitution which also can help us to deal with this kind of challenges. So a lot of new ways of doing business are also required, and we have tried to do that in the new strategy, but we are still thinking together with the board. Yesterday we had a meeting, and we are saying we have to keep on thinking about what needs to be improved and what needs to be enhanced. So even if we are talking about 10 years, we are going to remain dynamic and also more responsive as more challenges and also opportunities emerge. Number two, we are also, because of this challenge, we are also basing our thinking on the philosophy
of people's sovereignty, which is only given a human rights perspective, especially on what we call the right to self-determination. Because we always talk about people's sovereign power in the context of Article 1, but we hardly give it a human rights perspective. So that is the grounding, bringing the power of the people to the fore. And this connects with the third issue about we are also dealing with the major causes of the violations and also governance abuses we have been facing, not just in Kenya, but also across the globe, the government and also the corporates. And when we'll be going through the program, you'll also see our programs are also designed in a way which addresses state impunity and also corporate impunity. So we have 3 areas of program. One is political accountability that targets the government, corporate accountability targeting the private sector, social and economic justice, which also deals with the material well-being of the people, which have also become critical because we are asking ourselves, what can a democracy deliver if not people's freedoms and also people's dignity? So that is also part of what has informed our conversation. So we are talking about delivering a human rights state where freedoms and dignity are upheld, and also the vision of consolidating the power of the people, building on the movement, building work we have been doing. Remember, the second strategy I talked about was about rooting human rights into communities, and this also helped us build the power of Akiango. So just building on that to move our strongholds to the next level of transformation. And this is also informed, again, by the Constitution, because Article 4 of Article 2 talks about Kenya being a democratic state, which is driven by principles and values of good governance in Article 10. And Article 19 talks about the Bill of Rights being the basis of making our social and economic policy. So when we are talking about democratic state, we are not imagining it is the state which is envisioned in the Constitution, and that state which then protects human rights is already captured in Article 10 and also Article 19. So we are basically politically bringing life to the spirit and also the vision of the Constitution of Kenya, but also using other regional and international human rights instruments to also advance that. Of course, we are building on the energy of the youth, and this strategy is going to put a lot of efforts into that, and the youth are going to be at the forefront of delivering this agenda for many reasons. Of course, they have been the vanguard of the society. They are the biggest population, and where we are, we feel they need to be the ones leading us, and our work is just to inspire and support them where necessary. And Nerima Wako, who is our board member and very big in that, will be supporting and guiding us to that effect. And we have been told even the way we frame everything from this kind of event, it has to be attractive to the youth. So everything has to be youth-driven from the beginning up to the end. So Nerima, we shall do our best to that effect, and also with your support and with your guidance. We are going to be, this strategy is also going to be driven by 7 strategies whose framing is also done in a way which helps to bring change. We are talking about, number 1, active research and documentation, not just research, but research which mobilizes people into action. And Maina, our chair, has been challenging us to ensure that research becomes our point of thought leadership, from which now we can be able to apply the other strategy about litigation, public action, and of course we are going to be engaged in civic organizing and movement building, political education and consciousness raising. We are going to be doing disruptive public interest litigation, not mechanical litigation, because as we go to court to make a political statement. So we are going to be more disruptive when it comes to dealing with matters of public interest, and then also using courts to also follow up on policy actions and also community engagements, as Betty has been advising us to ensure that every action we also undertake has also connection with the communities, the constituencies who we target. We are also going to be sustaining strategic partnerships and alliances, not just partnership for the sake of it, but very strategic, which are also part of our agenda and also our mission. And where possible, we be led in most of the coalitions we are going to be part of. So Winnie, when we met at Civic Freedom Forum, and we see us now doing things differently, this is also part of that strategic partnership, but where the partners are at the forefront, where we can be led, we'll be supporting other partners to be part of that, and also tech-driven political communication, because we also want to use technology as also enabler in everything we are going to be advancing. But also because there are so many unplanned violations, we also keep our agenda of rapid response and also disruption to all the emerging issues. And some of these strategies also apply across the board when it comes to emerging issues. Although this strategy has many areas of work, which Cornelius is going to be talking about, we are also very conscious about the role of elections, because it determines how many of other governance issues are managed in the country. Right now, the kind of government we have is also because of the kind of elections we had. And again, also go back to Article 4, Sub-Article 2. Kenya shall be a multi-party democratic state. That vision also imagines some kind of political democracy. So we are going to be investing a lot on that. And we are going to be advancing the notion, which was also proposed by our vice chair, which is called electoral sovereignty, and ensuring that our elections, the voice of the people, count at all the levels of election. So I know Cornelius will be talking more about that element. And it's also part of the reason we have also proposed a 10-year plan, so that we are able to deal with all the governance issues towards 2027 and also towards 2032. So because we are running between 2025 and 2035. So this also gives us a leeway to also navigate the governance around the next two elections. But we also need to also learn from the political class who think long term. You have heard when Rigad was part of the regime, he was talking about 2032, but as we keep on talking about 4 to 5 years. So this idea of also long-term thinking is something we need to embrace as a sector. And of course, there are also values we are going to be embracing: courage, being political, and unapologetically political, where we are very clear between right and wrong. There's no neutral ground. So we have to take a political position and also provide political leadership on matters of public interest. We are going to remain innovative, inclusive, and also ethical in everything we do. But being ethical does also mean that we are going to be mechanical. Just mean we are going to ensure we work with integrity, but remain progressive in everything. And there are a number of political commitments we have made in the strategy, which you will find there. Allow me to just finish with the first one. We are saying we'll catalyze young people and the key groups. We'll recognize the youth as defenders of democracy, and we'll strengthen our connections with them and other critical groups. Our work will remain rooted in counties nationally, while expanding to regional, global level for greater transnational accountability and also solidarity. We say Khrc is a domestic transnational organization, a national institution which also escalates and also engages within the regional and the international human rights mechanism. So we declare that this strategy is our roadmap for resistance, renewal, and reimagination. It's a political and material commitment to stand unapologetically with the people on the side of justice and to challenge those in power, especially the political and also the economic elite. So finally, we invite everyone, every compatriot of the conscience to join us in shaping our societal commitments to domestic and transnational human rights and also governance obligations and transformation. Aluta, Godunua, may justice be our shield and a defender.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Malombe, for giving us that broad context. And I would like to now invite our Deputy Director, Cornelius. One second. Sorry, so it's back to Ernest.
Thank you. Davis has given a very long speech, which some might find very boring. We want to visualize the SP now.
crossroads, not just as a nation, but as a people. As KHRC, we have walked with you through decades of rights and fights, and now we'll launch a bold new chapter. This 10-year strategic plan is our roadmap for resistance, renewal, and reimagination. It was born from deep participatory consultations with our staff, our board, our partners. It builds on more than 30 years of relentless struggle as captured on our legacy book, Rights and Fights. But this plan is different. It comes at a moment of reckoning. Our response, a renewed commitment to the people's sovereignty, to self-determination, to justice. We envision a democratic state. This plan, it's powered by youth. They are the engine of change. We'll also flip tech on its head. Our power analysis is clear. The state and corporate elite are driving Kenya's governance crisis. That's why our first and third strategic pillars focus on state and corporate accountability. Our second pillar, social-economic rights, speaks directly to the material conditions that define modern struggle, from joblessness to exclusion, from health to housing. The fourth pillar is inward-facing, institutional excellence. Because to fight effectively, we must be strong ourselves. And how will we do this? Through 7 transformative strategies: activist research and documentation, civic organization and movement building, political education for consciousness raising, disruptive public interest litigation, strategic partnerships and alliance development, tech-driven political communication, rapid response and disruption. We also acknowledge the centrality of elections. That's why this plan spans a decade. So yes, this is our roadmap. A roadmap for resistance. A roadmap for renewal. A roadmap for reimagination. We stand unapologetically with the people. A luta continua.
And there you have it, Nerima.
Thank you, Ernest. So, the one thing that I love about KHRC is being unapologetic. And I'm looking forward to the reimagination and the fact that we're building on the renewal right now. So I'd like to invite our Deputy Director, Cornelius, as well as Martha, our Admin and HR Manager. Karibuni yote kwa song, sindio? Ndio hiyo wimbo.
Honest, I don't want to be boring, but allow me to just re-emphasize what has already been stated. Clearly, this strategy relies heavily on the new energy that has been demonstrated by the young people. We strongly believe that if people are empowered to claim and defend their rights, then we start a chance to realize a democratic and a human rights state. So my brief here with my colleague Martha will just to dwell deeper into how we have organized our work programmatically. So Is that presentation there? No, just speak to it. So we've talked about, you can just be working with the people to consolidate their sovereign power, to claim their rights and challenge systems of impunity. So how do we get there? Our theory of change, we believe that if all citizens exercise their sovereign power, to claim and defend their rights, then they will achieve democratic and human rights states and societies that live in freedom and dignity. So to achieve this vision, we have organized our work around the 4 areas already alluded to. You can move to the next slide. The political accountability in state institutions, social and economic justice, corporate accountability in select sectors, and last but not least is institutional excellence and resilience. So, under political accountability in state institutions, next, our strategic outcome is work area to enhance fairness and political accountability in enhance fairness and public accountability in political governance processes. So the priority areas as already alluded will be in electoral sovereignty, where we will be seeking to see that elections are truly reflect the sovereign will of the people. We all know that we've been having elections every other 5 years. But immediately after those elections, there's a lot of public outcry. I wish I knew statements as all over the country. People feel that cheated out of these elections. We are given promises that are never fulfilled, and we feel like we need another election. So how many times are we going the area of transformative justice? And emerging injustices, those harmed by state forces, as well as we seek inclusion and diversity to protect the most disadvantaged groups. The second pillar, programmatic pillar, is on social and economic justice that seeks to see at the end of the day that we have enhanced social and economic well-being and dignity of individuals and communities. And here we'll be focusing in 2 areas, education and health, in which case education seeks to focus, the focus is on inclusion, progressive funding, safe learning environments. I think you can bear me witness that education sector is in big crisis. Schools are closing next week, and capitation for second term is yet to reach most schools. They tell us they are still doing. What are they doing? Verification. Have we just woken up? We don't know how many students are in schools. Schools are closing, and monies have not hit the accounts. Currently, lecturers are on strike. People are arguing over CBAs that were signed 10 years ago. What's not happening? Equally important is the issue of safe learning environments. It's just last year that we lost 21 boys in Endarasha. Up to date, there's no detailed, comprehensive report to tell us what actually transpired. Khrc had to go to court, and it's only last month that government indicated that they are setting a public inquest. Where is the place of accountability in this country? This must stop. In health, we'll focus on workers' rights, how underfunding affects services, how privatization limits access to affordable and quality healthcare, including for sexual and reproductive health rights. story ya saa ama ni saa, yeah, teething problems 2 years down the line. Every other public facility you go to, all that we get there are prescriptions of medicine. You are told, go outside, buy that there, buy that there. Some of us are being taxed heavily. Na hiyo SHA cannot count for anything. So privatization of health facilities, I think we are paying a lot as a country. Why can't we just get things working? I'm willing to pay more, but as long as I'm guaranteed of quality services. I think this is the cry of Kenyans. Corporate accountability. Malombe did indicate that we are going to confront violations of rights by both state and non-state actors. It's very clear that violations of rights are equally being perpetrated by the private sector, the corporate side of the world. So we want to enhance corporates' respect for business and human rights obligation. In the run-up to last year's election and even the JNC, I think it was very clear that the telecos were complicit and were aiding in identification and abduction of dissidents. I think we need to do something about the corporate world. It takes the collusion of the corporate and state, and this has led to a lot of rampant violation. So our key priorities in these areas is corporate abuse in horticulture, land and natural resource, the big farms, the Del Montes, the Khrcs. Every other time we hear of stories, workers' rights are being violated left, right, and center. People are killed in these big farms. And because they have a lot of money and they finance people on the other side of the world, the state, there's nothing you can do. We must hold the corporate accountable. Corporate abuse in telecommunications will focus on digital security, data privacy, and corporate negligence. Martha.
Thank you for that, Cornelius. Once again, good afternoon. So as Nerima said, my name is Martha Ndururi, and I'm the Human Resource Manager, and I also handle administration at the Kenya Human Rights Commission. I will be looking at the third thematic area, if you could. So the third thematic area of our strategic plan is the institutional excellence and resilience. As I stand here before you today, I'd like to reflect back. Chances are you're sitting next to someone who worked here at Khrc or was a former intern and now is back, or someone who passed through our hands and they are now influencing the local, national, regional, or even international programs. So Khrc is that, it builds people. And under this thematic area, we are looking to address two key priority areas. As I mentioned, one of the priority areas we are looking at is the organizational systems and policies. Khrc was established on the backbone of human rights. The people who stood to fight against the Moi regime are the ones who formed Khrc. And those structures and systems and policies continue to hold Khrc to date. Of course, we've come in to improve them, to make them better. But the resources we have are because of the structures. Those people who passed through Khrc set them up. So I'd like to make a big thank you to those people. And I recognize so many faces here today who enabled Khrc to be what it is. So for us, systems, policies, structures are critical to us. And how are we going to do that? So one, we are looking to reimagining the systems, modernizing them, because the world has changed. We are now looking at artificial intelligence. We are looking at systems that have come in that are reducing the number of people you have in organizations. But to us, we look at those systems as something that is key, something that is coming to improve us, not diminish us. We are going to embrace technology, data management, and knowledge sharing. We are going to turn information into insight into action. The second priority areas for us is leadership, the people, communication, and resource mobilization. As I mentioned, people are key. This strategic plan is ambitious. It's 10 years. And we need young people. We need people who have a consciousness, a human rights consciousness. In KHRC, when you come in, we look at your passionometer. I remember there's someone who mentioned it many years ago. What is your passion for human rights? That's what we look for. Do you look at human rights as what it is? Or is it that a job you're looking for? No. We look for human rights, passion for human rights. And that is the key people we have within us. People who look at human rights and fight for human rights for the betterment of our society. Leadership. KHRC has over time been led by people who are here and have gone before us. And again, we are looking at succession planning. If we leave today, do we want KHRC to continue running? Yes. That's why we have a 10-year plan. So people are at the center. Young people are called forth to come in because many years ago, the KHRC was established by young people. Today, we stand at the same threshold. Young people are now changing Kenya. Young people are required to move KHRC forward. We are looking at financial resilience and resource mobilization. How are we going to do that? We are going to work closely with partners, communities, and funders to ensure KHRC remains strong and self-sustaining, even exploring new income streams which can expand our sustainability and ensure our future. In short, that is what we are as KHRC. So long live KHRC, long lives. There's one of my colleagues who likes saying, Viva, Viva KHRC, Viva. I don't know if you can repeat it after me. Viva KHRC, Viva. Long live KHRC, long live. Thank you.
Thank you. So now I'd like to invite my co-MC Patu. It's your time to shine.
Everybody telling me to. Everybody telling me to. Well, everybody telling me to.
Hey, you people, you look as if you're tired. Give your neighbor a high five. Mwambie changamuka, hii ni ya vijana sasa. Mwambie ngumi ni mbwetse. Msalimia na ngumi mbili, eh? Okay. Kindly, I beseech all of us to be upstanding. Kindly. Let's be upstanding. Vijana muko? Wako wapi? Vijana muko? Ngumi ni ngapi? Are you ready? Are you ready? Now we are celebrating and launching our journey for 10 years from now. So I want us to do a simple engagement here to symbolize what we are going to be doing for the next 10 years. So you count together with me. So if I say 1, you do 1. Let's go 1, 1, 2, 2. Let's go 3. Uko nyuma kuna watu wana buff. Okay, let's go 4. Let's go 5. Let's go 6. Let's go 7. Now, kuna wale walikuwa shule na show off. Wanaandika 7 na kamuti katikati. Now, let's remember those people. Let's go to 7. 7. And hapo katikati. Let's go to 8. Let's go to 9. Now, 10, you will write 1. Then you jump, we write 0. Are you ready? Let's go to 10. 1. Let's go. 0.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Now, I want us to celebrate. Don't sit down. I want us to celebrate our diversities because this is the only generation that is tribeless. We are tribe all. Okay? We are tribeless. So I want us to walk the journey as we celebrate together. Ambia jirani yako, be ready, be ready, be ready. DJ tutembee vizuri, be ready. Watu wa Mrima, watu wa Lakeside, twende. Mwambie be ready. Lift your hands, lift your hands, lift your hands. Let's do this to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Say hi to your neighbor. Give your neighbor high five again. High five, high five. Are you ready, my DJ? Yeah. Are you ready? Lift your hands kindly, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go DJ, let's go DJ. Let's go. Our people from the lake. You like this? Let's go. To the left. In our chin. The right. Amikono juu. Kila mtu. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Let's go. Haya, twende juu. Chini kidogo, twende. Weka chini, let's go. Twende chini. Twende chini. Haya, shika jirani yako mabega, mikono mbili. Shika mabega. Mabega, mikono mbili. 1, 2, 3, twende. Weka mikono mbili juu. Angalia huko. Huko. Angalia mbele, anguka nayo. Chini. Angalia jirani yako. Twende mapangale. Kwa shingo leo. Twende chini. Hey. Ruka. Hey. Hey. Ruka juu kidogo. Hey. Ruka. Hey. Zunguka, twende. Twende.
Nyambura oka mwendo asiti wa ngoro. Nyambura oka nowe murata wakwa wa ngoro. Nyambura gyo hatirero ne mesi.
Weka mikono, twende. Weka saluti. Let's go.
Weko. Hey. Weko.
Hey.
Weko.
Twende. Watu wa nyumbani, twende. Weka, twende. Twende chini. Twende hapa. Twende. Pula dishi. Inama chini. Twende chini kidogo. Inua mikono mbili juu. Inua kichwa juu. Lalisha upande moja. Toa ulimi nje. Pop your eyes. Inama chini kidogo. DJ twende. Ukiwa hivyo. Nikisema twende mbele, mnakuja mbele. Are you ready? Aya, twende. Let's go back. Twende mbele. Rudi nyuma. Ina mashini, twende. Rudi nyuma. Twende chini tena. Aya, DJ. Aya, let's go to the Rift Valley now. The left foot in front. Weka mguu left mbele kidogo. Aya, inama chini kidogo. Are you ready? In the Chabarbar. Tell your neighbor in the Chabarbar. In the going. In the coming. Are you ready? Are you ready? On your marks. Let's go. On your marks. DJ, let's go. Let's go.
Kenene Rwanda. Yani the international bank. Jesus mwenyewe.
Let's go.
So.
Ready, let's go.
Wanja mieka ginewe.
Let's go.
Wanja mieka ginewe.
Let's go.
Miga tena mi Facebook.
Let's go.
Miga tena mi Facebook.
Let's go.
Enga mieka zamando.
Let's go.
Enga mieka zamando.
Let's go.
Mengunenga randito. Mengunenga randito.
Let's go.
Acha minja masiri. Acha minja masiri.
Let's go.
Igarani ukwinja.
Let's go. Let's go.
Igarani ukwinja. Isamanda. Nonge na mule luma lu.
Let's go.
Bato kitinginya nandi. Wishimiwa.
Twende chini, let's go.
Agane sichongo, agane swege, agane zindugutwa. Yanza welinde mama.
Weka mikono hivi.
Banduba usaba.
Let's go.
Yanza welinde mama wechunge nenda banduba tama.
Hallelujah people.
Yanza uninde.
Angalia jirani yako, angalia jirani yako. Haya twende chini.
Yanza uninde na jere titi.
Haya twende chini drama festival.
Aida mwana nyanya, mwana pere, mwana indungu.
Let's go down.
Yanzo mudara mukata, mudara mufango, mudara mufwaba.
Hey.
Misa kubesimu, aiswe, onange kuwe bindu.
I swear.
Misa kubesimu, onange.
Haya twende chini hivi. Twende.
Manyilenda kuleka mwitala, na maparo kanyasi.
Enda chini kabisa.
Manyilenda kuleka mwitala, na matembo kanyasi.
Twende.
Lumisa kubesimu, onange kuwe bindu. Mama wanje wayangu.
Haya DJ. Ni wagani tumesahau? Waindi, si ndio? Wakisi. Masai. Masai. Wapi Masai in the house? Ha, DJ nene Masai. Now, for Masai now, you have to be flexible with your neck. And then you control your anger issue. Otherwise, they are not good when it comes to anger issues. But they are good when it comes to observing our culture. They are the only team in Kenya that are observing their culture. Clap for them. Hey, DJ, let's go to Masai land. Lift your hands. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go. Angalia jirani yako. Angalia jirani yako. Let's go. Aya, weka mkono hivi tena. Let's go. Hey. Shika. Let's go. Hey. Atuluka juu. Thank you, DJ. We'll continue because of time in respect to the program. Clap for yourselves, guys. Narima, back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm even sweating, guys. Eish. Thank you, MC Pato. At this moment, don't worry, guys, we're not on fire. There's a smoke machine here. Yeah, special effects. I'd like to take this time we're going to move into the next session, which is on short reflections. And I'd like to invite Tatiana, yes, to please come forward. And as you come, I'd like you to please pick a card and answer it before you speak. So these cards are from Badili, Africa. And you will tell us what the question is, and then you will answer.
What's one skill you think every leader should have? I don't know if integrity is a skill, but just don't steal from people and don't kill them. Good afternoon, everyone. A round of applause for Pato. That was a really good session. Thank you. So I don't know if my speech will be short, but I hope it won't be boring. My name is Tatiana Gisharo, and you might get to learn a little bit about me through my words that I want to share today. So here goes. All sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya. That is how our constitution begins. Not with the president, not with parliament, but with the people. Those words remind us that it is not State House that is the highest office in the country. It's you and me, the citizenry. Yet, I cannot blame anyone who might feel like that power is slipping out of our hands, overrun by politics and propaganda, and silenced by fear and intimidation. I need not remind anyone in this room of the realities that we are currently facing. Many of you have played pivotal roles in getting innocent Kenyans out of jail after being wrongfully charged as terrorists. Hi, Nerima. You've documented stories of abductions, intimidations, threats, and extrajudicial killings. You still show up to court, even when justice remains elusive and perpetrators walk free. And so the beautiful democracy painted for us by our constitution is more and more seeming like it is only true on paper and not in practice. So when I first read the theme for today's launch, consolidating people's sovereign power to claim their freedoms and dignity, it took me back to June of 2024, when for many young Kenyans, everything changed. And as the dust began to settle on the Reject Finance Bill protests, the message from Kenyans was clear. We will not forget. We will not forget that people got hurt. We will not forget that people got killed. We will not forget the impunity. Most importantly, we will not forget the power we wielded when we stood together as one. And yet, only a year later, it feels like we are slipping back into normal, a dangerous normal, complacency, amnesia, as though our collective courage was only a moment, but not a movement. That's why the word consolidating really stood out to me. I think consolidating matters, because people power means nothing if it is scattered, either in hashtags or in short-lived outrage. To consolidate means to come together across generations, across sectors, privilege, experience, to build something that endures. Last year's protests changed everything. But as we look forward, we must recognize that protest is not our only power. Protests may shake the ground, but what sustains movements is what happens after. Our power lies not in the streets, but in every day. I found my own power through communication, in using my social media platforms to conduct civic and political education, to encourage people to think and to challenge power. That power was always within me. Nobody had to give it to me. I started a blog when I was 14 years old. It was called All Things Khrc. I was writing about my growing pains, adolescence, bullying, and I attracted the readership of my peers. When I was 16, I changed that into an online magazine. I got my friends and family to write articles for me about school, fashion, identity, and unknowingly about dignity. We didn't know it then, but we were youth consolidating power. That same instinct to use my talent and my voice is what took me from behind a screen and then behind a placard in June last year. Since then, I've continued to speak up, document human rights violations, and use my digital platforms to enhance people's power. What I've learned along the journey is this: everyone has a part to play. The person making chapatis at the kibanda next door has power. Kindergarten teachers have power. The Uber driver who brought you here today has power. Artists, journalists, lawyers, they all have power, and nobody's contribution is more significant than the other. When I was asked to give this keynote address, I thought to myself, why me? Especially among my much more gallant comrades. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Shakira. I've come to understand, though, that sustaining this movement means allowing everyone to contribute in the ways they can, safely, creatively, but most importantly, consistently. We've already lost too many, and the only way we honor them is by keeping the cause alive, not by asking more people to put their lives on the line or to die for the cause. So I'm currently in my 4th year, pursuing a degree in international studies, and for my research project, I've been studying nonviolent resistance and what makes it effective. I thought I would share 2 of my most important lessons with you here today. First, movements succeed when people align, when we share not only a grievance, but a shared vision, a common goal. Second, movements endure when we sustain them, when energy doesn't collapse after the crisis or after the uprising passes. So that's the work we have cut out for us today: to align, but most importantly, to sustain. Central to that is how we engage with young people. My generation holds the numbers, accounting for over 70% of the population. But very rarely do we hold the influence. The truth is, we are often invited into spaces as decoration and not as decision makers. We must stop counting young people and start making young people count. Because when we really throw our weight, thank you, when we really throw our weight behind youth, not just with words, but with opportunity and trust, then we consolidate not only power, but the future itself. Having worked with the Kenya Human Rights Commission, and so many of you here, I've seen what is possible when we act as one and support young people. The 2024 protests were effective, not only because people showed up, but because everyone did what they could. Think about the songs that came out of the protests, the lawyers that offered their time pro bono, bureaucrats offering expertise, medics offering first aid, journalists exposing and documenting injustice, and people translating the finance bill into their local dialects. That diversity is what made the movement powerful, and that's what we must keep alive. So today, as KHRC unveils its new strategic plan, I hope it's not just about strategy, but solidarity, like Ernest said. Because our freedoms cannot be defended from boardrooms. They must be lived, spoken, and demanded by all of us every day. To consolidate people's sovereign power is to remember that our constitution begins with we the people, not them, the leaders. And the day every Kenyan believes that is the day freedom and dignity will not need to be claimed because they will already be guaranteed. As we mark this moment with KHRC, I'm reminded that our greatest power has never sat in our offices or our titles. It lives within us, in the teacher who speaks truth in class, the artist who creates, the mother who insists on justice, and the youth who refuse to be silent. That is the power the Constitution spoke of, and that is the power that we must keep alive together. Thank you very much.
Wow. So powerful, Tatiana. I'd like to take this time to recognize a few individuals who have joined us. I'd like to recognize Dr. Bernard Mogesa, Commission Secretary of KNCHR, Milan Kloploge, German Embassy, Kawive Wambua, Idi Inuka, Janet Kiguru, Australian High Commission, Steve Taraka, Swedish Embassy, Walid Kasim, Muhuri, Lilian Kantai, Diaconia, Omunyin Vincent, Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, very long title. Nathan Brooke, EU, and Abrams Ocheng Budgety Hub. Thank you for joining us. And now I would like to invite Walid, Kasim.
Trust me, if you could see how I was dancing in my mind, you will not judge. I was dancing so well, by the way. Thank you so much. My name is Walid, the ED for Muhuri. And I'd like to first, we need to congratulate KHRC for this milestone, right? Let's give them a clap. When Martha came on board, she said something that actually I could agree with, and that was almost all of us know a person that has either worked with, been part of, or been inspired by KHRC. But she missed one thing. There are organizations out there that were built, mentored, and supported by KHRC. And I must say, Muhuri is one of them. Today, we give them a clap for that also, please. When I say that, it's because Muhuri is a 27-year-old organization formed from 1997, hosted and supported and run or operationalized by KHRC for 14 out of those 27 years. So that is the impact KHRC has at the grassroots level as well as at the national level. Today we have many organizations that are not only local, but nationally committed to the principles of constitutionalism, to the principles of democracy, thanks to the initiatives and inputs of those that were here and those that are still going on. So we say thank you to our chair, Maina, and the entire board, and those that were even before here. So mine is to echo the input that KHRC has had. However, and in addition to the input, we must also recognize the challenges that are still out there. And as my colleagues earlier have proceeded to say, we must ask questions. And questions must be answered. Because if you look at a narrative called power analysis, you'll come to learn that the power within is greater than the power outside there. So we need to consolidate our power. We need to consolidate our initiatives. We need to consolidate our efforts and make sure that we forge together. And you might have noticed that within the strategy that Davis and colleagues have shared, none of those pillars stand alone. None of those pillars can be implemented alone. So we need to come together. We need to consolidate our successes from the past. We need to reflect on the challenges that we've had, the unanswered questions, the killings, as early or as late as unfortunately today in Kwale, the killing that has been just reported from Narok just a few hours ago by police. Those are questions that have to keep us awake. And those are questions that have to keep us out of those boardrooms. And they have to tell us and make sure that we are able to support. I wouldn't want to speak much, but also as well as raise our attention to legislation. I know it is an area. Today I know the country is not talking or is not speaking about it because of the national news and everything. But I want to appreciate KHRC's focus and all of us in the legislative in the legislative, let me say, assassination that is happening out there. Today we had the Cyber Crimes Act assented to law, and nobody is talking about it. But I don't know whether it was timed that way, but it is also a call that we must stand together, we must not fear, and we must not relent. And in Khrc, I think we have a home to do all that, despite the threats, despite the intimidation, and despite the harassment. And with that I say, Viva Khrc! Viva Khrc! Asanteni.
Thank you. I'd like to continue with some of the recognitions. Joseph Omondi, Midrift. Winnie Masai, Inform Action. Gibson Mwaita, Transparency International. Roland Ebole, Amnesty Kenya. Alexandra Rithi, TISA. Yota Yonen, Demos Kratos. Bina Maseno, Badili Africa. Nicole Ondisa, Keswa. Sarah Ngeve, Galk. Lillian from Katiba, as well as one of our former board members, Professor Khrc Kanyinga. Karibuni. And now I would like to invite Winnie Masai, Inform Action, to kindly come forward.
Wow. I have been given a card, and this is what it says. Have you ever stood up for something you believe in? What was it? It's a question. Have you ever stood up for something you believe in? Have we? I believe that's the reason we are all here, gathered here today, because we are aligned, as our first keynote speaker said. My name is Winnie Masai. I serve as the ED for Inform Action. Khrc is a brother organization to Inform Action, so we are the sisters. We share a lot of commonalities in terms of the board members. Nerima here is our board member. Their chair is my board member. So there's a lot of intermingling, but it's because this is our space and we share that vision together. I want to thank Khrc for launching this very progressive strategic plan. I think one thing that I'm taking home here is whoever you put in the board, and I want to thank their board, because they're very visionary, will determine how strong you stand and how far you visualize the future. This is a 10-year strategic plan, and I know that given the work that Khrc does, they are really our anchor in terms of everything that we do, whether we are talking about elections, civic space, and it's been a great honor working with them, and we look forward to partnering together. So congratulations, and we look forward to being part of this journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'd now like to invite Midrift, Joseph Omondi.
Viva Khrc, viva! Viva Khrc, viva! I'm called Joseph Omondi, the Executive Director of Midrift Human Rights Network. Midrift Human Rights Network is one of the many children of Khrc, because Chief Maina, sometimes 15, 20 years ago, Khrc used to operate differently. And we want you guys to return where we were at that particular point in time. Because according to how you were structured, we were able to have over 22 networks over the country as Human Rights Network working with Khrc. So Midrift is privileged as one of the networks that grew to be a very big organization that currently employs 32 staff members and have offices here in Nairobi and also in Nakuru. We are working in Kenya, we are working in Uganda, we are working in Tanzania, We are working in South Africa, we are in Sierra Leone, and Liberia. So I like to recognize one of the mentors who are working with KHRC at that particular point in time. Tumshukuru tu kwa sababu bila yeye Midrift haingekuwa organization kubwa vile iko kubwa sahi. So Kantai, hebu simama. Wewe ndo unajua mtu wa kupigia makofi. Tunampigia makofi hapo. Simama, kuja hapa. Kuja. We want to appreciate Kantai.
All right, are we ready to appreciate her? When I say Karabanda, you clap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Karabanda. Karabanda. When I say señorita, you clap 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Señorita. We'll do señorita one more time. When I say señorita, you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Señorita. All right, so now can I stand so that we can now appreciate you with enthusiasm? Sindio? Karabanda. Karabanda. Ya Kantai. Karabanda. Karabanda. For Kantai.
Asante sana. So as we gather here today, it has been a long journey. And in this journey, there has been challenges. In this journey, our foot soldiers, some of them have retreated. So we need encouragement. We need encouragement because we're almost there. We're almost there. You remember the speech that Martin Luther King gave some sanitation officers, the speech about keep moving. You remember that? Keep moving, whatever happens. If you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, if you cannot walk, by all means, keep moving. And that's the spirit. We really appreciate KHRC because from the networks that we created, we were able to build and capacity build a cohort, very, very vibrant human rights defenders who are still working at the grassroots level. We were also able to build a very, very big cohort of governance champions because I remember by that time, we were looking at how devolved funds are being utilized. Initially, we were looking at LATIF, Local Authority Transfer Fund, CDF then. Now we have devolution. It's a big challenge, looking at accountability at the local level where people can do social audit. So those foot soldiers are still on the ground. They have now emerged new challenges because of our bad election habits, because our democracy, we are given a chance every 5 years to make things happen, but we still have a challenge in terms of how we do our elections. And we were discussing last week with the UN team that is doing assessment to IBC about their needs. And your name cropped up, Chief Maina, because people asked, according to the Maina Kiai case, where results should be finished at the grassroots level, this mongrel called bombers, where did it come from? Where the IBC chair again have to collect and collate and announce for us. Why don't we just say that the things that will be announced there will be final? Him being the presidential returning officer will just announce what has been announced. Because what has been announced on the ground, the agents are there. They have signed. They have been given copies. So this mongrel called bombers, we need to do away with it. Because I've checked other elections. If today I asked you what the name of the electoral body in the US, can you name it? Can you really name it? Because we just get projections from the televisions because they They have collected what has been announced at the polling station. So we need to address that. That's still a big issue. The other issue is one. When you go to the elections, there's a big issue here about ungazetted polling stations. These things we need to speak about, because those ungazetted polling stations are where top-up votes come from. That's something that we need to discuss. So as we talk about the next elections, have we fixed some of these electoral laws and everything that has been done? Because, anyway, I don't want to digress. Back to KHRC, it's very, very a bold move in this era to develop a 10-year strategic plan. It's a very bold move. So we congratulate you for doing that. Very bold move. You are like the Chinese who normally make 50-year strategic plan, the Communist Party. They make a longer period of strategic plan. That's why they have really developed. Tunawashukuru pia kuwa na premises hapa. This is home. Some of us, when we come back here, tunarudi nyumbani. Kwa sababu sasa hii ndio boma kubwa. Tulijenga boma kidogo kidogo huko Midrift, lakini hii ndio boma yetu. So kazi yenyu haina toa wala doa. Ni kazi ambayo ni nzuri na tunawapea sifa kede kede. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd now like to invite Sefu.
I want to invite you to help us do this song, do these songs in responding and in singing and in dancing. So I want you to say Amber, Amber, Amber. All right. Amber, Amber, usilege, utashinda. I want you to say Amber. Repeat after me. Say Amber, 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 usilege, utashinda. I can't hear you. Amber, usilege, utashinda. Hey, Amber, usilege, utashinda. I can't hear you. Amber, usilege, utashinda. Amber, usilege. Amber, usilege, utashinda. Amber, usilege, tutashinda. Amber, usilege, utashinda. Now clap with me like this. Amber, usilege, utashinda. Now Gen Z waliamua watashinda. Dedan Kimathi aliamua alishinda. Muthoni Nyanjiru aliamua alishinda. Nasi sote tukiamua tutashinda. Hey, nasi sote tukiamua tutashinda. Hey, na Rex Masai aliamua, alishinda ambaye. Nawe Shakira utaamua, utashinda. All right, let me see you clap your hands like this. Come on, get up, get up, get up. All right. Let me see you clap like this. Like this. Let's go. All right. Move to the front like this. Let me see you. Let me see you. One more time. Let's go. I'm not seeing you. 20. Amba, usilege, utashinda. Amba, usilege, utashinda. Nasi vijana tukiamua tutashinda ambaye. Nasi vijana tukiamua tutashinda. Okay, now let's march because we are gonna march. Tutasonga kwa mapinduzi, tukomboe Kenya na wananchi wote. Tutasonga kwa mapinduzi, tukomboe Kenya na wananchi wote. Now you. I want to hear you. Tena. Siwaoni mukisonga. Nairobi tumefika kwa siasa nzuri. All right, band, just a minute. Muko tayari kusonga? Muko tayari kusonga kwa mapinduzi? Muko tayari kuondoa uongozi mbaya? Muko tayari kukanyaga ufisadi? Lakini munakanyaga aje ufisadi? Hebu nione. Munakanyaga aje ufisadi? Ukiambiwa haya, ufisadi, kanyaga. Ufisadi, kanyaga. Yaani hivi ndo mtatua serikali mbaya. Ufisadi, kanyaga. Ufisadi, kanyaga. Unyanyasaji, maliza. Unyanyasaji, maliza. Unyanyasaji, maliza. Form the unit and fight. I want you to lift your hands when I say form the unit. You say hi. Form the unit. Say hi. Say hi. Hi, hi. Hey, hi. Hi, hi. Hey, hi. Hi, hi. Unyanyasaji, kanyaga. Unyanyasaji, kanyaga. Siasa mbaya, kanyaga. Siasa mbaya, kanyaga. Hey, ta. Ta. Hey, ta. Ta. Hey, ta. Ta. Hey, ta. Ta. Mko tayari kwa mapinduzi? Mko tayari kwa mapinduzi? Twende hivi. Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Haya, nataka mogithi ya mapambano. Twende, kuja. Na mfuate nyuma, mfuate. Twende. Wale ambao wako tayari. Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Are you ready for socialism? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let me see your left feet. Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Vijana wetu, mafaita. Vijana wetu, imara. Wasichana wetu, imara. Na haki zetu, imara. Katiba yetu, imara. Wakenya wetu, imara. Siasa yetu, imara. Viongozi wetu, imara. Hey, ta! Ta! Hey, ta! Ta! Hey, ta! Ta! Hey, ta! Ta! Muko tayari kwa mapambano. Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Tuko tayari kwa mapinduzi. Alafu narudi nyuma. 1, 2, 3. Tuko tayari kwa mapinduzi. Twende nyuma. Twende. Tuko tayari kwa mapinduzi. Hey, tuko tayari. Are you ready for social justice? Are you ready? We are ready. Vijana wetu, mafaita. Vijana wetu, imara. Vijana wetu, mafaita. Vijana wetu, imara. Hey, ta! Ta! Hey, ta! Ta! Hey, ta! Ta! Hey, ta! Ta! Uko tayari kwa mapinduzi? Uko tayari kwa mapinduzi? Tuko tayari kwa siasa bora. Tuko tayari kwa siasa bora. Twende chini kidogo. Hivi. Chini. Balance. Aya, rudi juu sasa. Aya, twist your side. Alafu wanilege kidogo. Aya, wanilege. Are you ready for social justice? Are you ready for social justice? We are ready. Are you ready for social justice? Let me see you. Are you ready for social justice? We are ready. We are ready. Viva social justice, viva! Viva good governance, viva! African youth on the front line. Kenyan people on the front line. Viva social justice, viva! Viva Khrc, viva! Down with corruption, down! Down with bad governance, down! Down with femicide, down!
Let's give a round of applause to Sefu, the band. Awesome. So this is the section where now we are almost coming to an end, guys. And I would like to request a few speakers just to come here briefly before we go into the keynote and the closing. And I'd like to invite EU representative Nathan Brooke to kindly come and address us briefly.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Matthew Brooke. I'm here on behalf of the European Union's ambassador, Madame Geiger. I'd actually hinted I was going to discreetly leave to Cornelius, and he sprang a surprise on me, so my departure will not be discreet, I'm afraid. But I'm delighted to be here. I'm a new arrival in the country. I'm a new arrival in the European Union delegation. I am in charge of the governance and democracy and also macroeconomics section. We have, I know, a history of supporting the Human Rights Commission, and I think we have an even bigger history, to be honest, of supporting the principles that you've espoused today, that you've set out again today. And I think we'll continue to do so, and I hope we manage to interact more in the future. But I'm delighted to have attended today, to have assisted as much as I can. Thank you for the surprise. Thank you for allowing me to depart discreetly, which I will do now. I'm afraid I had to leave. But thank you very, very much. And I rarely danced as much while at work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite Shakira Wafula. Karibu.
Viva, comrades, viva. Viva, comrades, viva. I've been given a card here. Nerima. The question is, if you were president, if you were the president of Kenya for a day, what will you do? Unataka kujua kenye Shakira atafanya? We? Abduct? No, we do not deal in shoddy business here. We are not abducting anyone. We are sending police officers to arrest criminals, and we know all the criminals. All of them are going to be arrested and sleep in jail, at least for that one day. Kwa sababu hatuna sentencing yenye inawezafanyika in one day. But Kenya, when it comes to leadership, and especially the seat, the top seat, the presidency, unfortunately, I don't think Kenya is yet to experience what an effective, compassionate leader is. And the bad thing about speaking after so many intelligent people is all the points I had in my mind, zishasemo. So for me, I am going to congratulate KHRC. First of all, I have a beef with Martha and Cornelius because they invited me so formally via email to this event. And I knew it is going to be the regular launching of an SP. So I'm wearing a dress and my konkongs here. Nakuja tunaanza kudance hapa anguka nayo na shindo Allah. Kunaenda aje? So this is a good sign. This is a good sign that they actually mean what they intend to do. And I'm looking forward to the application of what is on paper practically. And now, since all the good things have been said, I'd like to give you a short story. When I was in a boarding college sort of setup after I finished high school. And we usually got Sundays off to, go visit our families, go out for shopping, nini, but we are adults there. So one of the Sundays, my parents were not available to come and pick me. So they sent their friend. It's not even like a relative of ours, a very close friend, Wakamtuma. And usually my parents are like on time, pronto. So this day, as usual, I get ready, I'm out, and I'm waiting. It's 7 a.m., nobody's there. 8 a.m., nobody's there. 9 is when this fellow decides to show up, and I'm pissed off because that's 2 hours lost out of my 10 hours that I would have spent eating or shopping or doing something nice. And he shows up, and I was too upset to even say hi to him. Nikaingia kwa gari, nikabang mlango, nimenuna. I'm like, why are you late? I've been here waiting. I'd already had plans for my day, yada, 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 yada. And he's just looking at me like, this girl. He didn't say anything. And on the way, he just waits for me to ramble out and I finish my frustrations. And then he like starts explaining to me the situation, like why he's late. And my dad had unfortunately been involved in some weird, freaky accident and he was in hospital. And here I was selfish complaining because nobody was there to pick me on time. Needless to say, that Sunday I didn't spend it the way I had intended to spend it, but it was a good day because I spent it with my family and I had compassionate people around me who were able to allow me to feel whatever emotions I felt and like they're able to guide me without too much, you are wrong, you should have been more understanding, things like that. And I learned a very big lesson, which is something all of us know, but it struck home a little bit more that day. It is like everything comes together. There's a story behind everything, and everything happens for a reason. So in whatever rooms we walk into, let us be a bit more compassionate, a bit more receptive of people's story. You never know like what they're about or what is the background that led them to be in this position today. And listening to the speakers before me talking about Muhuri and the others, I can't remember the names, maskini. It all swirls back to Khrc. And coincidentally, Khrc and I were born in the same year, so 31 chance. So let us be a bit more compassionate about people's stories and how they ended up being where they are. And I actually believe humanity and our home Kenya is going to be better off if people are more empathetic and more kind and more compassionate. And we're going to actually go towards where youth are not just counted, but they count. It doesn't matter whether you're from Korogocho, or you're from South Sea, or you're from Runda. Everybody's stories matter. And I'm looking forward to Khrc making sure that every story is actually important towards our democracy. And if anything, that is how I landed here. I was just a girl minding her business, and I saw Mercy. You remember Mercy Tarus? I saw her on TV complaining about their fees and how they had been swindled. And I was like, wow, this girl. And all this confidence she exuded. And I wondered what her story was. But that day, she sparked something in me. A year later, I see online just random young girls conversing about femicide. And we all know the issue of femicide has a long history in our country. But the way the women came up and spoke compassionately about it, so passionately about it, and they decided to organize. And I was like, let me see where this is going to go, because, social media, I've always been a keyboard warrior, typing furiously but never doing anything physically. So I was like, let's see where this is going to go. And unfortunately, I had an exam that day, so I was like, I couldn't participate actively, but I was there, tweeting, typing, reposting, resharing. And then I saw the feedback of the number of people that came out. And at least 10 of the women who showed up that day were influenced by Mercy Tarus speaking up against their governor. And that day I was like, wow, the power of social media, the power of one voice, the power of one story. And so on June 18th, when watu walisema tunaenda kuoccupy parliament, kasema Shakira ni nani? Twende. This time, sibaki nyuma. And 18th, we were not many. 20th, we were not many. But then there was that video that showed up. And 25th, I was walking around the streets, and the number of people who told me, we are here because we saw you, and we saw what it means to stand up for what you believe in. I was like, oh my goodness. As in, the power of one story. So keep living your truth, and be compassionate, be receptive, and be empathetic of other people's stories. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shakira is going to run for government. She's going to buy. You will. Yes. I would like to now invite Dr. Bernard Mogesa, Commission Secretary, KNCHR. Karibu.
Thank you very much. I'm so delighted today to be here to also participate in the launch of this very significant strategic plan of KHRC. And when many people talk about KHRC, I also have part of the story, because working at the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights was a creation through serious and vigorous advocacy by KHRC. And our founding chair is none other than Chief Maina Kiai. Let's celebrate this man. Part of what I used to do, especially building the capacities of duty bearers, wherever I introduced myself, that time I was heading the public education and training at the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. They used to ask me, Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, ile ya Maina Kiai? Of course, yes, that one. Then we know him. So Chief, you laid a strong foundation, and we have stood firm to protect that foundation that you laid at the Commission. Despite the challenges that we have faced, ranging from funding, frustrations among others, you left a solid team at the Secretariat, and as the leader of the Secretariat, I have maintained and kept that spirit, and so long as I am there, I'll still keep on ensuring that the Commission stands firm for what it was created to do. KHRC and KNCHR, we have been working together. Many times I ask my brother, Malombe, I have this, what can you do? Can you host this? I have been frustrated here, funds are not coming. Can you do something here? I have this function. And KHRC has graciously come out to support. And so today, we stand with you. 3 days ago, we received a new chair through the swearing in. Clarice Oganga is now our new chair. She has moved from Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights to join us at KNCHR. And you recall at the beginning of this year, we lost our chair, then Roslyn Odede, so we've had a replacement. 2 quick points. Number one, empowering the citizens to claim their rights is very significant. And I urge each one of us to invest resources in this. Because many times, even when we talk as part of government engagements, there is no express budget that has been ever given for empowering the citizens to claim their rights. You are rather left there so that you are not informed. And remember, an informed citizenry can be able to claim their rights. So KHRC, bravo for ensuring that that component is very key. Let us also extend it and reach out to the duty bearers who apparently, some of them, are the greatest violators of human rights. I look forward to a day when we shall sit down and say, Kenyans are now enjoying their rights. There are no more human rights violations. Let us come and sing and then we call MC Pato and Sheila, is it Sheila? Safe. Then now you can play for us that music, and we dance the whole day because we not be confronting the levels of impunity that we confront at this particular moment. Point number 2, we are moving towards elections. And the players, we need to start mapping early, especially the hotspots. We put in very strategic and key measures to ensure that we safeguard the sovereignty of the people of Kenya through electoral accountability. And this is very key for all of us. Let the Kenyans elect their leaders, but let them also do so from an informed point. And that is why we need to move, especially Malombe, our group, the ELOG team, we begin to strategize and see how we begin to put our house in order for 2027. And the earlier we begin, the better. Finally, again, we engage, especially with the IBC, in terms of ensuring that if there are any amendments that are coming, they are not coming towards the end, but a year before, if we must have a conversation around this. For me, I still have the energy, and I believe that Kenya will be a better country to live in. I remember almost 40 years ago, or 30-something years ago, when we were in the university, and women in the public service, they never used to get a house allowance for whatever reason then. And it came from us, the university students, that we said, no, these are our sisters. We cannot leave campus assuming that it is only the men who get the house allowance. Some may not have that history, Malombe, but you know that history was there. And what this means is that stand for someone's rights, and you will make a better nation, a better country tomorrow for the generations to come. God bless Khrc. God bless Khrc. Thank you very much.
Anachukua, anaweka, wa.
Le général Dangote.
Anachukua, anaweka, wa.
Thank you so much. I'd like to now invite Mr. Vincent Omunyin, Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you, DJ. I'm here to just say 2 things. One is the apology from our head of office, who did not make it here to this very important event. Then 2, my congratulations and the congratulations of our office to Kenya Human Rights Commission for this very greatest milestone. Recently, about 2 months ago, I attended a friend's housewarming, and I was telling the friend that you must be very lucky during this very economic hardship to avoid paying rent because you have your own house. And when we got this invitation, I saw 2 agendas. One is the housewarming, and another one is the launch of a strategic plan. And I want to use the same word to Kenya Human Rights Commission. Congratulations for this milestone. We are living in a space today that non-state actors are really struggling with liquidity crisis, not only here, but globally. So I think you thought out of the box to have this very significant strategy that will sustain some of the activities that you want to do, to save a coin so that most of the resources that you have goes directly to our citizens. 2, on the strategic plan, I want to congratulate you. I've heard my brother Walid speak about the origin of Muhuri. I didn't have this connection until today. I've had a privilege of working with a human rights civil society organization at the coast. And I've always thought, and I think I'm very right, that most of the civil society organizations at the coast originated from Muhuri, right? So I didn't know that there's a grandfather here. You see that connection? And when Omondi from Midriff to also speaking, I can now appreciate the role Kenya Human Rights Commission has played over the 30 years to build the civil society organization. that are very strong. And I think this is why we have a very vibrant civil society here in Kenya. You can really compare between the civic space here and our neighbors. I don't want to say who are our neighbors, but I think you can have that comparison for your own. And you'll appreciate the space that we have because of this engagement and because of this network that we've had over the years. So really ours is to congratulate you for this. And I also have a dream for you. You have a very good strategic plan, forward-looking. Many people do for 5 years. You've done it for 10 years. And Mr. Malonga was here explaining to us why 10 years, why not 5 years. So I also have a dream for you. This runs until 2030. So next time when you invite us here, in the next 10 years, Dr. will have retired. I think myself I'll be heading there. So in the next 10 years, when you invite us, I think have a vision to also launch a regional office, a regional human rights resource center that can also support our neighbors. With those very few words, I don't want you to clap for me, but I want you to clap for the Kenya Human Rights Commission. And I want you to do it in a very special way. Where I come from, we appreciate the rain. And there's this rain called El Nino that comes once in so many years, right? So I want us to all stand up and appreciate them with El Nino. El Nino comes from where? Up, right? Inaenda chini, usually it has thunderstorm. Do it again. El Nino, down, thunderstorm. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And so now I would like to call up Roland Ebole, representing Ford Foundation.
Thank you so much, Nerima. I have not yet transitioned from Amnesty International. And kudos KHRC, kudos Kenya Human Rights Commission. Viva KHRC, viva! Viva KHRC, viva! It is not just Muhuri, I think even Amnesty kinda was born. You know, it's not just our national organizations, it's also international organizations. And I know Maina has a lot to say about that. And many others, there's Khrc, there's who else? Malombe would actually say KHRC has given birth to a lot, many organizations. So my name is Roland Ebole. I'm completing my term at Amnesty International as regional researcher, covering Uganda and Tanzania, making all the noise about the transnational and cross-border repression. I remember we've taken people like Shakira to also show solidarity in trials, Tundu Lissu trial. We've gone to Uganda, where Kizza Besigye, is being held. And I think this is some of the spirit that KHRC also implanted in me more than 12 years ago almost 12 years ago when I was here. Because KHRC is just not Kenya. It has worked regionally. It has exported people to also fight and demand accountability, justice outside the country. So with that, I do not want to speak a lot. I want to first recognize former KHRC staff that I can see. I see Lucas, I see Kantai, I see Carol. Please, if you're a former KHRC staff, on your feet. Former KHRC staff. Wow. Former KHRC, remain standing. Former KHRC board members. If you've been a board member, yes, senior. If you have done any work for KHRC, like being here, consulting, doing anything for KHRC. Great. Nimeona ndugu yangu wa midrift. Msijifanye mnaelewa kedekede inamaanisha nini. What does it mean? He said kedekede, I'm still looking for it. I'm Luya, we speak a lot of Swahili, and I've not come across. I just know madhumuni, kwa minajili, those ones, not kedekede. Ndiposa kede ai hiyo ni yako, you'll tell me where you got it from. Then current KHRC board members. Beautiful, beautiful. So please clap for current staff of KHRC. Please clap for these ladies and gentlemen. They have built this institution and they continue to be part of this process, because for you being here, it means you have love for this place and you are dedicated to justice. Have your seats. Thank you. Lastly, even after appreciating them, I just want to say that, we live in a dispensation whereby we need an institution that offers that leadership in terms of whether it's research, whether it's advocacy, campaigns, to the movement. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing, this intergenerational. I'm seeing people from different, ages and, institutions and all that. And this is what KHRC you are built for. You are built to bring everyone in the room. You are built to offer this kind of platform whereby this space can continue being used by everyone who has a heart for justice, everyone who has a heart for human rights. So for those few remarks, mine was just to recognize those like me that have been here, those who are here, and everyone who's continuing to do a good job. Thank you so much, and may God bless KHRC. Viva KHRC, viva! Thank you.
MC Pato, it is your time.
Thank you DJ. Tusimameni tafadhali. Watu wamechoka. Na wale wako pale nyuma, songeni mbele. Akisha umekanyaga hii nyasi hapa ambayo tumewekea. Songeni hapa mbele kidogo. Kujeni wale wako nyuma, songeni mbele kwa heshima, kindly. Please come. Come closer. This one deserves your presence here. Yes, thank you for obeying. Please come. We are the ones fighting for justice. So it starts with us here. So please come closer. So if you have something with you, either hanky or a kitamba, please remove it. And we want to wave for some vibes here. Lift it high. Wale mko nyuma, songeni kidogo tu muingie ndani ya nyasi hapa. Yes. And as we do this, remember, to the young people, your vote counts. Please go and be that one person that is spreading that news, what you are registered. That's your only weapon to fight all this. Sidio? Okay, now I want to take you to South Africa. I know you've been to Kenya for so long. So kindly, let's board together. Lift your hands. Both. Okay. Touch your head, your shoulders, your waist. Then you jump to the right, to the left, 1 and 2. Face that side. Okay. Here we are going to have students. Okay. Lift your hands again. Touch your head, shoulders, waist. Jump to the left, 1 and 2. Face that side. Thank you. Okay. You will get it. I know some of us are buffing. Lift your hands. Touch your head, shoulders, waist. Jump to your left. 1. Hey, some are not jumping. They are just standing. You're heavy. Lift your hands. Touch your head, shoulders, waist. Jump. Follow instructions. I've not said left. Jump. Hiyo ndio mnaharibu huko kura. Jump to your left. Thank you. Okay, look at me. Touch your head, your shoulders, your waist. Touch your waist, your head, your shoulders. Your shoulders, DJ, let's go. Lift your hands, kindly. Lift your hands. Let's go. I'll show them well. DJ, some music. Let's go. Let's go. 1, And two, let's go. Good. You are what? Let's go to the west. Let's up. Lift your hands. Touch your head. Hey, you're west. Hey, you're west. Hey, yeah, let's go. Lift your hands. Hey, touch your head. Hey, let's hold them. Hey, yeah, you're west. Hey, yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey. Hey. Hey, lift, let's go. Are you ready for this? Let's go like this. Let's go like this. Let's go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Hey, hey, hey. To the right, to the right, to the left. And let's go to the left. Let's go to the right. Let's go to the left. Okay, let's go.
Move your body out on the floor. Put your troubles aside. Start living in this body. Can't let go. Throw away all your problems. Cause right now it's party time. Girl, you don't feel out of place.
Are you ready to jump? Let's go. Let's go.
Hope that this will last a while. We should make it last a while.
Are you ready?
You love to drink.
Hey.
So do we.
Hey. Are you ready, my people?
Bring them to me.
Hey. 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 Are you ready?
Now everybody put your...
Let's go, let's go. Hey, hey, hey. Jump, 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 jump.
Once upon a younger year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play. Went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, and memories we knew would never fade. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. He took me in his arms, I heard him say, you get older, your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me if ever
Are you ready, John?
He said one day you'll leave this world behind. So live a life you will
remember.
My father told me when I was
I want us to jump.
These are the lines.
Are you ready? Let's go, let's go. Jump, 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 jump. DJ. Ngoja DJ kidogo. Tuendelee tusiendelee. Hey, our parents are suffering, eh? Our parents are suffering, eh? Yeah? DJ, my darling. Haya, kila mtu ajishike hivi. Mikono mbili. Mikono mbili. Tujishike. Bado tatu, si ndio? Thank you, Maina. Thank you, sir. Haya, hold your hands like this. Mr. DJ, let's go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go.
Telling me what I owe you. Telling me what you wanted me to give you. My darling. What is it that they told you? Telling me how they be fooling you like on you. Telling me how they be fooling you like on you.
3, let's go.
My darling.
I am about to order, let's go.
Maisha mafupi ni simple.
Haya kidogo dichi. Wazazi wetu anguka nayo. Fall with it, eh? Anguka nayo. Injustice, anguka nayo. Si ndio? Si ndio? Si ndio? Corruption. Wizi wa kura. Impunity. Aya DJ, let's go. Aya wazazi mguu ya left mbele. Ngoja DJ. Wazazi mkiweka mguu ya left mbele. Now shake your body the way you can. We are blessed differently. Some will dance internally. We appreciate. Others will see it. So don't mind your neighbor. Make your move. My DJ, fanya vile ulifanya Bethlehem kwa birthday ya Nebukadnezar. Are you ready? Twende chini kidogo tu. Haya hapa. Bado.
Tushasikia kikingia ni kupla.
Let's go.
Huko ngabado na chukua madam.
Anguka nayo. Majenzi. Twende chini.
Koko single for now. Mdagi mteja patikani. Hadi late night saa sita.
Mr. Maina. Twende chini. Wapi nduru ya?
Anguka nao twende down low now. Mikono juu alafu click.
Hapo.
Alafu
twende chini.
Anguka nao. Anguka nao. Anguka nao.
Nani mwingine?
Wacha. Anguka nayo kama
Anguka nayo kama
Ikibamba sana basi pull it up. Select cheza dopa once from the top. Whoa. Dojo maben.
Angalia jirani yako.
Kisha speaker.
Angalia.
Fire. We light it up.
Dojo maben. Twende chini. Angalia jirani yako, mapanga le mikono mbili. Let's go. When you walk alone. Twende chini. Kifo cha mende maisha. Twende chini.
That our love isn't true.
Uko nyuma malida. Walida. Mikono mbili mapanga le. 1, 2, 3.
I would die for you. And that's why you're my love.
Weka mikono mbili juu. Tunakujua. Hati.
La. Ako kapengi ka area. Nakakitaka mutapa.
Weka twende.
Nakula kiapo ndai hapa. Aje. Sit down on it nikirusha mamistare. Viungo wene nguwa mwili hatare. Wine mkot nishikishe male. Twende maeneo tumelaliana. Boy kijana wa ingo. Napenda njugu na mukombero. Kingo masel napenda mastingo. Kifo cha mende ama wakido. Ufadereva makanga. Leo ni kifo cha mende. Sema
twende juu.
leo tunavunja.
Twende.
Udonjo kudunda na yeye.
Chini. Are you ready? Hati. Here go.
My hands, your waist, my heart. Awe kuna ni kuna.
Kama kaeni chepula. Let's go again. Kila mikono juu. Hop.
DJ Remy.
Twende. Are you ready?
My hands, your waist, my heart. Awe kuna ni kuna. Ni kuna. My lips, your lips, they touch. We kiss kuna ni kuna.
Haya DJ. Wacha tupende pia wazazi wetu. Tuweke twist moja. Pia hao wakumbuke. Hey. Wazazi simameni msichoke. Tumewafikia. Wamechoka. Ati majenzi wanasemanga mzazi akikuambia umevaa smart, hujavaa smart. Hivyo ndio wanasemanga, si ndio? You don't just their instincts. Aya, wazazi tuko hapa kwa sababu yenu. Majenzi wazazi wamedance na nyinyi. Twende chini kidogo. Hey, Maina wewe nikao ulikuwa muziki. Mdosi alikuwa anapiga muziki eh? Twende chini kidogo. Bado unapiga. Makofi. Haya, one more dish twende. Kila mtu chini. Ngoja. Mdosi najua it's out of order to call you, but please come with your friends. Hapa mbele. Your friends. Your circle. Come with your circle. Kuja tu, tufuateni. Kama wewe ni rafiki ya mdosi hapa, kuja. Hey, hamwezi dansia kwa viti. Wapi makofi? Sasa hawa ndio walikuwa majenzi enzi wa Kenyatta wa kwanza. Hawa ndio walikuwa wanachoma story. Nyinyi mkichoma parliament. Please, if you belong to this category, come. This is a group photo. Do not force youthful fun. You are not a youth. Okay. Kama huwezi qualify kuchukua youth fund, kuja hapa.
Ebola kuja bwana. Haya. Kuja. Kwa mchetsi. Kwa mchetsi wapi?
Yeah. You are young at that. Now, to make it short and clear, if you have voted for every regime, please come here. Kama umepigia marais wote kura, kuja. Okay, wacha tusiende mbali. Kama ulipigia Moi, kuja. Okay, kama ulikuwa kwa upinzani ya Moi, kuja. Kumbe Hai, tuko na classmate wa Kenyatta. Wapi makofi? Huyu ndiye alikuwa prefect. Huyu ndiye alikuwa prefect wa Jomo. Karibu sana. Yes. Siri ni gani kuishi miaka mingi kwa dunia?
Siri kuishi miaka mingi ni kuona mengi. Vile tuliona kutoka utawala wa mzungu mpaka wa leo.
Are you ready for our daddies and mummies? Gen Zs, are you ready? Hey, Gen Zs, are you ready? Aya DJ, wakumbushe miaka yao. Twende kazi DJ. Wewe. Ati.
Nilikuta bibi wa kwanza Nairobi. Akanipenda na mimi kampenda. Nikamuuliza kama ana bwana. Akanijibu sina hata mpenzi. Nilikuta bibi wa kwanza Nairobi. Akanipenda na mimi kampenda. Nikamuuliza kama ana bwana. Akanijibu sina hata mpenzi.
Wapi makofi yao? Chini. Aya, ukiwa hapo DJ hapo usisimame hapo. Sasa nataka niwaeleze tangu tuchukue aya, hapo chini. Na Kenya yetu saizi iko na chini. Sasa kuna kengine pia bado ka kitambo kidogo. Hako ndio tunamalizia nako. DJ, are you ready? Haya, twende DJ. Yo, ndio ndo kabaka.
Anpenda kuzilika, anpenda chicks, anpenda tigers, anpenda hizo hit six sexy kiwa bamba, anpenda hii, anpenda that slow but yende chap, anpenda hii, anpenda that slow but yende chap.
DJ, wacha nikutwa kazi wewe. Haya, kaeni chini, nitawaita Bob Marley. Haya, DJ. Ile Bob Marley ile teach the world ama ni gani? Bob yoyote. Haya, yoyote mzuri. Kumbe wewe ni mrasta.
Ala.
Ati wagwan.
Dreads tu nimekata wa.
Ai! Wapi nduru ya mrasta wewe? Haya dish, are you ready? Haya.
Nani yako na spliff size?
Haya. Aha. Wewe msiingie box, anataka kuona wale wanatumia miadarati na wako hapa. Nani yako nayo? Nani yako nayo? Ameitisha. Kashuki. Shuki. Amujui? Huyu anasema ni wa praise and worship ya Redeemed. Ajui. Maidisha, are you ready? Haya, twende. Haya ndio basi, twende. Mkono moja juu. Reggae ni mkono moja juu. Alafu unasema tu ja Rastafari. Are you ready? Hey, let's go. Twende. Ruka.
I'm on the rock.
Peppa.
And then I check a stop.
Ruka.
I had to run like a fugitive.
What?
To save the life I live. I'm
Inua
gonna
mikono
be
juu.
iron like a lion.
Twende.
In Zion.
Peppa.
Iron like a lion.
Hadi.
In Zion.
Mikono mbili juu, twende.
Iron, lion, Zion.
One love. Let's get together and feel alright.
Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One love. Saying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright.
As it was in the beginning.
Wapi mikono juu? Asante watu wangu wa reggae. Pulo DJ. Maximum respect to this culture. Huo ni uzao wa Bob Marley. Majenzi, shangilieni wazazi wetu. And now, ladies and gentlemen, because of time, allow me to return the microphone to my elbow Nerima. Makofi kwake tafadhali. Karibu sana.
Thank you. As usual, MC Pato, good job. I've never seen some people dance like that. Weh, thank you for that memory. It'll always be etched anyway. Right now, I'm seeing our EDs being briefed. We are now going into the keynote right before we speak. So I'd like to invite ED Malombe to please invite our keynote speaker. Thank you.
I'm so fired. I'm a man of reggae. You thought you mungeweka ile kati. Hey. So this is the opportunity to invite our keynote speaker, General, Comrade, Joshua Okayo, youth leader, Okil, and a human rights defender, and today at Inuka's event, Civic Action Champion. Karibu sana, you address this political gathering. It is honor and a pleasure to have you in this occasion. Hey!
Thank you, Davis, and thank you, Nerima, comrades. Leaders, Chief, I didn't know your name is Chief, your other name. Admiral. Comrades, compatriots, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Joshua Okayo, and I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I'm grateful to be amongst all of you. Before I begin my keynote address, you know, it sounds so big. You know, when KHRC reached out to me that I'm going to give this keynote address, I was like, hey, sasa hiyo ndio gani? Okay, I know what it is, but I was like, okay, KHRC is big. I know I have addressed people, I have done some of these things before, but mainly, as you can see, I'm young, unless my face doesn't. Maybe my face is older than I am, but I am young, and so I've engaged with young people. It's easier to engage with young people, speak amongst young people, and just do things that bring us joy and fun. I was saying before I begin, I want to appreciate some people. We have acknowledged very big people who have made serious contributions to the civic space in Kenya for the longest time. We have acknowledged partners who have in one way or another contributed to what we're enjoying now. Because even if we are at a bad place, we have to accept that we are at a better place. And we were at a worse place before, and there are people who actually worked for us to get to this better place. But what we are saying, and that is why we have this launch for the strategic plan, is that we can get better than what we have now. And that is why we are here today. And key people who have started that journey and who have probably in one way or another gotten themselves in that journey, knowingly or unknowingly, maybe they liked it or not, are also with us here today. And there are people whom for the longest time, and when we say the longest time, Gen Z's, sisi longest time is a quarter 2 months, ama 2 years. So, and for the longest time, when we go to the streets, na tiaga zikaneonga pa, nikiangalia hivi naona Ojiro pale, naona Ojiro anasema, Okayo, wamekuumiza. Comrade Ojiro, salimia watu hivi. Huyo ni mwana mapambano. Na kila wakati nakumbuka there's a time I was hit with a rungu by a police pale CBD. And Ojiro is one of those guys who came and carried me and rushed me to the hospital. Thank you, my comrade. And let's continue doing the work of God. Shakira, I know my rights. I am fighting for me and you and your children. If you saw that video, this is the lady that stood up to police officers and told them that you are hitting us, but we shall stand nonetheless, and we shall continue telling you that this is not the right thing to do. My comrade, I salute you. Thank you. Tatiana, she takes her time to ensure that young people actually get the depth of what we are talking about. Because most of us just watch 2-minute video and we're like, aya, finance bill ni mbaya hivyo, tuende in streets. You understand? But she has taken her time to make videos on TikTok, and you know TikTok is a big thing now. And she is teaching people on what is entailed in whatever we are fighting for and we are fighting against. I salute you, my comrade. Comrade Sefu, huyu si mmesikia tu. Art is at the very central of the struggle. And we must appreciate people who are using art to ensure that we continue the struggle. She has a very melodious voice. And every time we are on a march, we always listen to Sefu as she sings some of the songs that we enjoy so much. Na katiba yetu wa Kenya, katiba yetu wa Kenya, tutekeleze. Na wamama wetu wa Kenya, wamama wetu wa Kenya, tupite. Na wasichana wetu, wasichana wetu wa Kenya, tuwatete. Na vijana wetu wa Kenya, vijana wetu wa Kenya. So in that spirit, as we always sing that we have to fight for our young people and we have to fight for ourselves, we have to protect our women, and we have to fight for the old, and we have to keep our civic space free from these hooligans, she sings. I appreciate you, my comrade. Simba. This gentleman, the brother was killed in last year's protest. And since then, He hasn't found a reason to not go to protests when called upon and when there's a right course to pursue. And he doesn't care the things he's gone through. He doesn't care the pain that he has endured. He doesn't care. He says that I've already felt the pain, it is in the past. But for me or my other brother or other sister or any of these people here not to experience what my brother experienced, I have to be at the forefront and actually fight for a better Kenya. I salute you, comrade. There are very many comrades. I mean, Roland, we've been together. I've seen you on the streets. I've seen you, Cornell, many other people. I saw the Secretary General of the University of Nairobi Student Association, UNSA. Where are you? My brother. This is the gentleman that mobilized students at the University of Nairobi to demand for their results to be released within time so that progression can actually happen in the university. Let's clap for him. And he's also one of those people who, even as we organize, those of us who have completed university, they always try to mobilize those at the universities because Gen Zs are also in the universities and outside universities. So he has played that role, and I know he has some of the many comrades with him. We appreciate you and continue doing the Lord's work. I am recognizing, and Comrade Lumwachi, sorry, I was about to forget. Comrade Lumwachi, she always shows up. She shows up. You know what it means to show up? If you know what it means, you know. Kuna mtu anasema no. If you know what it means to show up, it means this comrade, you can call her at 9 in the night. That Ojiro has been arrested, and she will come out and she will say, let us go to Central, or wherever it is he's been taken. You confirm? You confirm? Thank you. There is a comrade here. She's looking behind. Comrade Charlotte. She calls herself Charlotte Kutment. Check her on your socials. This comrade here is also doing an amazing work in civic education and political engagement. We appreciate you for that. I would rather take 90% of my time appreciating things, my fellow young people, and not say anything else than just come here and blab and go and sit. Because what we are launching today gives priority to these young people who are the future. Because we are talking about consolidating people's sovereign power to claim rights and freedoms. And I was told to talk specifically about shaping the future. What rights look like in the future from the lenses of the strategic plan that we are launching today. And that is why I'm here, and that is why I needed to talk about these young people. Finally. Not finally. I have two more people, I'm sorry. Comrade Nerima. Comrade Nerima, you know what you do. I remember there's a time some of us were organizing something. And you know, as young people, some of us are very impatient. And so we get to so many disagreements. We disagree a lot. This comrade here is always our mediator. Kitchen cabinet. The people we call Mother Hen. Ojiro, you remember Mother Hen? Nanyuki, Mother Hen. Kitchen cabinet. Comrade, we appreciate you. And you don't want to know the amount of facilitations she has done for individuals here to be able to even get to where we are going. We appreciate you and thank you. May God bless you. Viva. Now finally, I want to appreciate Comrade Magawi Maxwell. This comrade seated here. This gentleman has been working with the student caucus and ensuring that in every conversation, as we try to organize manenos, we have students at the universities and all tertiary institutions actually involved in conversations, and that their part is also felt. They are not just, Tatiana, what did you say? They're not just counted, but they actually count. That is what this gentleman is doing. We appreciate you. God bless you and continue doing what you're doing. So, the Khrc Strategic Plan 2025-2035 puts the young people at the very center. and says that we are looking at 10 years from now. And I'm happy people have touched about the elections. We have 2 electioneering periods. And we even have a by-election in November. So we can say there are 3. And I'm happier that KHRC is not only promising, but has actually started to walk the talk by inviting one of the very youngest people in this room to deliver a keynote address. Can we clap for them? They are not only promising that, look, we are going to do this and that and that. We are going to do this road. Hii barabara kabla ya miaka miwili itakuwa imeisha. Many of us are used to promises because we want to hear big things that excite us. But we are actually not interested to see the very basic steps that people are taking to ensure that those big plans are achieved. KHRC has called on young people today. A majority of the speakers who have spoken here today are young people. True or true? True or true? That is what we call walking the talk. They are not waiting to start implementing this strategic plan after the launch, after the mega launch, which we are waiting for. They have actually started implementing the strategic plan before. Who does that? KHRC. Who does that? Who does that? Viva KHRC, viva. Viva KHRC, viva. And so it gladdens my heart that as young people we find a space today where we can call home and a space where we can converge and have our conspiracies conspire, as Ojiro says, every time. And even as we build movements moving forward, I am happy that they've declared this space as an open space that we can come and conspire. Ojiro viva. All right? And so I request that even as I give you all the praises which you deserve, I also request that you make the entrance to this place a bit more easier and accessible to the young people. Now that you said you are making this a young people-centered plan. Last year, you could see young people, and even not just young people, even the old, even the people who have danced here. I can tell you. Okay, the former Gen Zs. Comrade Boaz Waruku is saying yes, yes. Amesema yes, yes mingi pale. Kama umjui ndo yule. Yes, thank you. I was the president of the Student Governing Council at the Kenya School of Law last year. And Comrade Boaz Waruku was one of my constituents. And this is one of the very people who always called me and asked me how things are going. And I think there's a time, Comrade, we have planned for tea for the longest time. I hope we are going to have it. So in short, I say there are some of these people that touch our lives in our very basic, spots. But maybe we don't get to recognize them a lot. Let me give you a fun fact. When we were singing on the streets and dancing and saying, Sasa natoa roho yangu, iende kukomboa inchi. Sasa natoa roho yangu, iende kukomboa inchi. Sasa natoa roho yangu, iende kukomboa. Sasa natoa roho yangu, iende kukomboa. Sasa natoa roho ya, iende. Sasa natoa roho yangu, iende kukomboa inchi. Na Rex alitoa roho yake, iende kukomboa inchi. Na Rex alitoa roho yake, iende kukomboa. Sasa natoa, iende. Sasa natoa roho yangu, iende. As we were touring our roho, people like Maina Kiai, people like all these people who have spoken here, Cornelius, Nerima, many of these people was sitting somewhere discussing how to support what is going on. Many of these people were actually supporting you in the background, and we may not have known. I have gotten the light to know. You should also know as a fellow young person. And so it means these are our comrades who have been with us through the journey. And they have not only been with us from last year to this year, but they've been with Kenyans of goodwill who have fought for freedom and have fought for the civic space for the longest time. Because if you look at the history of KHRC from, when Shakira was born, because she said she's an age mate to KHRC, there are so many other things that have happened in Kenya, and if you read deeply and read between the lines, you'll get to know that KHRC has been at the very center in ensuring that the civic space in Kenya does not shrink to its death. Talk about 1992, which I think sparked the beginning of KHRC and the need to have a human rights commission. 1990. But even if it is 1990, let me get you back a little bit. 1988. The Mlolongo voting system. Moi said that you are not going to cast your vote, and so you are going to stand behind the candidate. Ulichapwa. Oh my goodness, pole sana. And so they said you can only qualify to the final elections if you have, that is now primaries, if you have 50% of the votes in the primaries. And anyone who gets 70% of votes in the primaries is declared a winner. So you don't have to get to the final elections. Is that democracy? Is that democracy? Where an individual decides for you what has to be done. An individual decides for millions of Kenyans what has to be done. And we still have that kind of authoritarianism even in our recent times. In 1990, KHRC participated in the struggle for deletion of Section 2A, the infamous Section 2A yenye ilikuwa inasema there's only one single party. And that party is what? KANU. People had already started fighting for a better civic space, for a more open and free and democratic civic space. And these are the very people who are actually fighting at that time. Elections happened. They contributed. They oversaw elections and reported on human rights violations. They documented, which is very important, and it's one of your strategic pillars that this strategic plan is talking about, documentation. It is very important because should we not document what is happening right now, our children and future children and our children's children will never forgive us for erasing, the history of our country. There must be something to inspire the future generations. There must be something to make the future generations fight for something better. Because if they don't get to see what is happening now or what happened last year, they will not have a reason to know what is worse. And so they would think they are at the right time, or they're at the right space, sorry. All these things accumulated, and it was a journey, and this should be understood very greatly by my fellow Gen Zs, that sometimes it doesn't take just a day, or 2 days, or a month, or a year, or 2 years, or 5 years, or sometimes maybe 10 years. It might take longer, but ultimately, it will be achieved. And the continued effort and contributions and documentation and conversations and all that by these very people enabled us to have the constitution that we are celebrating very greatly today. And we are proudly saying in our international platforms that, Kenya has one of the most progressive constitutions in the world. There are people who stood up for something. And there are people who came out and said something must be done. Last year, and I've appreciated you, my comrades, people stood up again and said, we are going to finish the job. Kidogo tu tulikuwa tunamaliza hiyo kazi. Kidogo. Kidogo. Kidogo tulikuwa tunamaliza hiyo kazi. But what we are saying is that we did not finish. But the job must be done, sindio? At the end of the day, the job must be done. And the job can only be done if we prepare for the future. And that is why we are launching a strategic plan to cover from 2025 to 2035, because we are seeing that future. I met a friend of mine yesterday, a postdoctoral researcher from Nigeria. He works with the media. And he was telling me, you know, many of us researchers are in Kenya now. We know what is happening in Madagascar. We know what happened in Nepal. We know what happened in Morocco. What is happening in Morocco? We know all that. We know what happened in Philippines. But we are here. Why? Because we want to know, why did it start in Kenya? Why Kenya? And Kenya is very important. And there's a lot of interest. And there's a lot of focus in Kenya. And it worries us, now I'm reporting, if you're still with me, it worries us that the young people of Kenya, it's like they have stopped, or they're kind of stopping what they started. And we believe that it's such struggles that contributed to even, the decolonization of Africa. And that we must decolonize ourselves from the black colonizer. And that is why we are coming to Kenya to learn. And we would want you people to continue organizing and mobilizing. And I told him, my brother, you may feel or see like nothing is happening in Kenya right now. But first of all, at least you are here. So something is happening. You would not be coming to record nothing. Secondly, we are just in a calm before a storm. And very soon, very soon, very soon, very soon, thank you. Mungu anasaidia. And this is why I was telling the story of my friend. He said, myself and many other researchers that we, that we work with, we are looking at Africa in the next, we are looking at the Africa in 2063. It means we are planning 2063 minus 63 minus 25 is about 28, right? 28. 28, yes. So we are looking at Africa in the next 28 years. And someone said here, people like China look at themselves in the next 50 or so years. He told me Finland has a plan for 2150. Do you know what that means? That's 125 years from now. They already know, they're already planning on how they want Finland to be 125 years from now. What about us? Raila amesema, sorry, but I mean, it's reality. We are just there. Hey, amesema nini? Ameendorse nani 27th November? Huyo ako sawa. You understand? That is what we say. Former president ameendorse nani? Ameweka huyo ako sawa. We are looking at 2 months from now, 1 month actually. We are looking at 2 years from now, the next election. That is our interest. We are looking at who is going to beat who in the next elections. But we are not looking at how are we going to ensure that we claim our fundamental freedoms and rights. How are we going to ensure that the Kenya of tomorrow is a free space where you and I can speak freely? Where a young person like you and I can create a video and go viral on TikTok and no one will be following you. Where you will be able to stand on the street and stand against police brutality and no one will come and abduct you. Where you will be able to write an article and they will not use, some very bad cybercrimes act to arrest you and charge you in a court of law. Where young people will be able to go to the streets and protest and they are not arrested and charged with terrorism. We are looking at a Kenya where people will not be arrested for just going to the streets to protest. We are looking at a Kenya where young people would be able to write petitions and petitions public offices and officers, and no one will follow them after. We are looking at a country where the media will be able to speak and report exactly what is happening on the ground, and no one will close them down. We are looking at a country where civic education will be taught in schools, and no president or prime minister or anyone would be able to stop that, because it would be the will of the people and the aspirations of the people of Kenya. We are looking at a country where health facilities will be free and everyone will be able to afford health care. We are looking at a country where education will not be a question of should we or should we not allocate funds. We are looking at a Kenya where systems work. And these strategic plans opines, and I support that that is doable and it is achievable, it is possible. If we all bring our heads together, all hands on deck, roll our sleeves high and say we are getting to the ground, we have to do this, all of us together. We are looking at a Kenya where an MP, governor, whoever it is, would be able to wait on the traffic jam because they have caused it. They have power to create more roads and build something that can help us decongest our towns, but they're not doing it. So we are looking at a Kenya where they'll be able to wait on those traffic jams or give us something better that will ensure Nairobi has no traffic jam. That is the Kenya we are looking forward to. And that is the Kenya KHRC is saying today that we are ready to fight for, and we are ready to work with the young people because they are at the center of what we are doing to achieve that Kenya. We are looking forward to a Kenya, and this is what we are working for actually. We're not just looking for, we are working for a Kenya where young people will have something to do. And young people will not be saying very painful statements like some I heard on the streets last year. Someone said, I have nothing to lose but my miserable life. Imagine when a young person says that I have nothing to lose but my miserable life. It means this person lives a life that he or she would rather die than live. And they are willing to put their life on the line to even die for a cause they are fighting for. And I love the strategic plans that KHRC has to ensure that that Kenya, and a free Kenya where everyone is able to speak, and all those things I've mentioned are able to be achieved. They have enumerated them there. And they are saying, we have to embrace digital political communication. Let me tell you, Kina Charlotte Kutment, Tatiana, and many other people are currently hosting TikTok lives. Did you even know that we have a TikTok quote? Cornelius, Comrade Cornelius, do you know we have a TikTok quote? Do you know? Yes, we have a TikTok quote. And we have a judge, magistrate. The first person to be called a magistrate without qualifications. And we have advocates. And witnesses. And there's a lot of prosecution going on TikTok. It is very possible. There's a time we will call the courts and tell them, bring your court to TikTok. Because that is where we are more comfortable with. Utadu. We have people who are consistently hosting Twitter spaces. Oh, now it's X. X spaces. And the conversations are continuing. But you know what? They have fragments of groups everywhere. Doing almost the same thing, fighting for the same cause. But there is no particular way in which, even if we do it, in a fragmented way, we know we are together and we are interconnected. Now, that is something that KHRC is looking at through this strategic plan. And we hope that just like you started today with a bang, it's not only going to remain a promise, but you'll actually actualize that which you promised. We have people coming together to contribute for fellow comrades. And saying that someone is in distress. Someone, Baba Yake, there's a young guy whose father suffered a stroke. And people, the TikTokers, turned up in large numbers and said, we are going to contribute for our fellow so that the father can be treated. That kind of camaraderie, that kind of solidarity is what we are looking forward to see. And we hope that KHRC will be at the center of ensuring that we have that solidarity across the country and across the region, now that you've been told that you need to have a regional office. Young people want to support ethical leaders for public offices. But they go to the ground and they are asked, how much do you have? Civic education, political engagement. It's at the very core. And we hope that those of us who have volunteered to do this, KHRC will come and walk with us hand in hand and, lift us high and walk with us to the grassroots and introduce us to your networks, because I see you have more than 30 networks across the 30 counties in Kenya. That is enough to ensure that we do serious grassroots mobilization so that we face out this kind of leadership we've had for 20, 30, 40 years. That is the Kenya we are looking at. And we hope that we are going to have many more mediators like Nerima. And that we shall be coming to that boardroom. Na mimi nakaa nasema mimi Shakira alinikosea, na Shakira anasema hata wewe ulinikosea, na tunasukumana na tunapointiana fingers, and then when we come out of that door, we are happy and we are saying we are going to walk together. That is what the young people are looking for. That is what the young people are looking for. And so many things can be said. But one thing that remains certain is that much as the team from KHRC worked on this strategic plan, and I applaud you so much for working on this plan. Much as the team worked on this strategic plan, it does not only belong to them now. This launch is not only a launch, but actually a declaration that now this is the plan for the Kenyans moving forward. Take it up and work with it. So if you are a lawyer, litigate fearlessly. Teachers, teach with compassion. And parents, raise children respectfully. Youth, let's organize relentlessly and courageously and work together to achieve a Kenya that we have never seen before. Because we are capable, we are doing the right thing, we are pursuing a just cause, and when the cause is just, conquer we must. God bless you.
Always so refreshing to hear from you. And we are just about to come to a close. And I would like to invite Chief to come and speak with us.
Take me by the end. Show me the way I can go. Take me by the end. Show me the way.
Yo, songs of the old.
You know they say, there's no revolution without music. No revolution without. Sasa DJ, play my song. Ila ingine bwana.
Niko njaa hata siwezi karanga, uwe hai shagala bagala, niko tayari kulipa gharama, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala, ufisadi, ubinafsi, ukabila, kuuza sura, wataki kuuza sera, undugu ni kufaana, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala,
sitasimama maovu ya kitawala. This is the rap part, but let's just sing without the instrumental. Let's put our left fist in the air. Niko njaa hata siwezi karanga, shagala bagala, niko tayari kulipa gharama, hatutasimama.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is going to be short. I want to say this is, for me personally, it's a very big journey to come here. I was employee 001 in 1992-93. My salary was zero. The funding for this organization was zero in 1992. And Ford Foundation was the first ones to come and give us some money, $40,000 for 2 years. How little it was for 2 years. So that is what started us off in 1993. So for a whole year, I was a briefcase. And I was a briefcase NGO moving from office to office and seeing how it is. So this is, for me, is fantastic. I was in my 20s when I was an ED of Khrc. I didn't consider myself a youth. Me, I thought I was adult. I was an adult. I was big enough. I could handle anybody. We sit down with people like Raila and Moite and Anyang' Nyong'o, converse as equals in meetings without fear. And I've got to say this because it happened today. For even though we're not so happy with what Raila Amolo Odinga has done in these last years, his contribution to this country in many, many ways has been immense. And we have got to give credit where it is due. I know Raila as well because when we were demonstrating in 1997, Maandamano yetu is 1997, we did it. Boys can tell you, every Saturday from March 31st for Katiba, Raila was always there. And he would mobilize his people from Kibra to come and join the protests. Every Saturday, he was there. So was Orengo. So was Moite. So was Muhisa Kitui. And there was a number of people who you may know now. But we protested every Saturday in 97. So when I saw this protest last year of young people, I was so excited. I was so happy because we have been talking about where is the fire, where is the energy, what's happening to young people. This was as you see, will not lead us to Maandamano. They'll never. They'll come at the sides, maybe give you water. They'll come to the office and do an email, but will not come to unless it's very safe. We can't run the way we used to run before. But we will come. I mean, we like the fact that young people have taken this up. And Maandamano is one major strategy to achieve the Kenya that you're talking about, Mr. Okayo. It's very important to do that. And we have to keep thinking about it as a strategy. Not the only one, but it doesn't finish in one go, by the way. You don't succeed necessarily the first time. And anybody who has succeeded the first time is a very rare. I've been studying protests across the world for many years now. Hardly do you succeed the first time. So you keep coming back. You regroup, you re-strategize, you do different strategies, and you work on it. So I've got to say, for me, this strategic plan is important because after last year, I was very clear that we have to change the way we work in Kenya. We have to change the way we as civil society and human rights organizations work. Young people must be at the heart of everything we do. Young people must be on our board in large numbers. Young people must be on our staff in large numbers. Because that's the way it is. We can't be us old geezers everywhere making decisions for young people. Because we say, nothing without us, nothing about us without us. And so we'll have to go through some changes in our own thinking as individuals as well. Where do we lie? How do we lie? What are we doing? Because young people must come. And it's incredibly important because at the global level, the world is different. So different. The strategies that we chose in the 90s, the 2000s, using the UN, using these petitions and stuff, I'm not even sure we'll have a UN in 5 years, the way it's going. I'm not sure we'll have a UN in 5 years. So we have got to rethink our strategies. If the world has changed, the issues have been exaggerated. Extremism in every sector has increased, whether it is Jewish extremism, it's white supremacy, it's Islamic extremism, all these extremisms. How are we going to work? We have to change the way we work. We as organizations cannot work the same way. The silos we have built for ourselves as organizations, the time for us to begin thinking about how we bridge those silos, break down these walls, work together, has to happen. We cannot do everything as KHRC with that plan. I will be utterly shocked if I see that KHRC is going to villages to do civic education. Staff are doing it. No. We can't be doing that. We can't do that. There's capacity, there's groups in Midrift, there are groups in Inform Action, there are groups in Mombasa. We have got to find out how to work with other people. And they've got to do it. Whether it's student bodies, how do we do that together? So we have to reimagine our future and reimagine the way we work. The future is different. It's going to be so different. And we have to change the way we work. We just have to. So, Ronald, as you go to Ford, just tell them that KHRC is ahead of the curve. And now this 40,000, maybe make it $4 million a year. And then things can happen. But the point I'm making really is that we have to grab change. The only thing that's constant in life is change and death. Just do those things. Change is going to happen and death is going to happen. And I'm happy to be able to be part of, to help move that change a bit. I'm happy to be part of it. But I think this is not about us. This is about you. And we have always said, as the board and Komchese can tell you, that we see KHRC as Kenya. We see KHRC as embodying every single like-minded organization and people on this path. And we see ourselves giving chances to those who are marginalized. In 1993-94, when we started hiring staff, we deliberately went to look for staff who had been expelled from universities. We had looked for staff who had been jailed in the 80s for Kenya and other things. So we had a very radical staff, very radical. They couldn't write a report to save your life. But when they went and did stuff, they were very good at it. Yeah? So we had to find ways to now marry those people who can't write and those who are activists and mobilizers somehow to get, because you have to write reports to Ford Foundation. So how do you marry those talents together? And I think the same thing we have to do now in the same way. We have to give space to those young people who are willing, who have shown the proof that they care about this country and they're willing to put their lives on the line to see if we can give them space in this organization. They've got to find a way. The more, because I know one thing, the more radical the staff, the more radical the organization. I can assure you. If we are just bringing people who could be in insurance companies and bankers, this place will just be, let's write a report, let's write a report. And reports are important, but we have to get out there. So all of you guys who are here, your friends, your colleagues, and this conversation we'll be having with Davis and the rest of the management staff, we've got to think about how we radicalize our staff. And Kawiva, even for you in Inuka, this whole message isn't just for KHRC. And how we work together and bring more and more radical people into these organizations. They have proven themselves, then they have to move the battle on. That's really what we have to do. So reimagine the world. It's different. Kenya is different. Raila's death is going to make things very different. Maybe chaotic a bit here and there. People will be scrambling to be next care. I have volunteered to be care of the Luo. Wapende wasipende. So And anybody is available to be care. Anybody can be care. This is Kenya now. Gen Zs have no tribe, so why can't anybody be care? Yeah. And all those things. So we have to find a way now to end these warlords that are in charge of communities. Because they're warlords. Whether it's Uhuru or Gachagua or it is Raila or it is Ruto or it is Kalonzo. Which other community? The Luya are very, very interesting. They refuse one lord. They have many warlords at the same time, mini warlords. And Komchesi wants to take over now. There you go. But what we want to do is finish this culture. And you guys are the ones to do it for us. My generation tried, we didn't succeed. That doesn't mean we tried very hard. It's your turn now to get rid of these warlords and this culture of warlords. The fact that somebody is your community does not mean they represent you. You speak the same language, so what? So what? Yeah, so what? So with that, please register. Young people, get your friends to register. Keep protesting too. There's not one or the other. Please. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. So you can protest and take your voter's card. Please, both. Even on election day, you can protest. Even better on that day. But keep doing these things at the same time. Is there anything else I wanted to say? I think that for me is good. We have to build an African future. I think that's important for me. As we're looking now, as the world is changing, Pan-Africanism will become bigger. The AU will probably be more important for us as we resolve our issues across the borders. So we have to start thinking now strategically. 20, 10, 15 years ahead. But I can tell you, international law, the ICC has collapsed. We're not going to do anything with it anymore. These instruments and institutions are no longer the same. And in the first place, we have to ask ourselves, if they ever were our institutions, did they ever work in our interests or not? And chances are they did. We used them. We used them very well. And I know when I was special rapporteur for freedom of assembly and association, we used the UN and the systems pretty well. But they were not made for us. Not made for us. But now it's time for us to think through how we can influence that international agenda, whatever is going to come next. Because this time, we must be at that table when they are being formed. We must. And with those many, many remarks, shall I invite the board and staff we come and unveil once and for all? Please. It's everybody. We agreed yesterday, the whole board, come, whole board. And staff, come, we help unveil. We're going there to unveil somewhere there. And former staff, please. Former staff, former interns, former board, whoever is here. They are going to unveil. They know how to unveil. Malombe, please help us.
Over here. Okay. So this is going to be our countdown, and we will start from 10. I will ask you to join me in the countdown. Everything will happen like magic. All right? So 10, 9, 8, 6, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you.
We've just done our strategic plan. I'm kindly inviting all of you, we go back
just behind our tent. We cut a cake, yeah, and also appreciate the next moment that we'll have there. Please follow me.
Viva Khrc, viva wa Kenya, 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 viva, viva, viva wa Kenya. Kupigwa na kupokonywa maisha hakutatuzuia sisi wananchi kunyakua wetu na haki ya jasho letu, na haki ya jasho letu. Tumekataa kupiga magoti mbele ya hawa wauaji. Bila shaka sisi pia ni watu, hali ya utumwa tumeikataa, hali ya utumwa tumeikataa. Tutanyakua mashamba yetu, tupiganie uhuru wetu, tuikomboe elimu yetu, utamaduni na viwanda vyetu, utamaduni na viwanda vyetu. Sisi hatutaki kudhulumiwa, hatutaki tena mauaji. Nikupe tuliangushe, akina uhuru zichanue, akina uhuru zichanue, na haki zetu Wakenya, Wakenya, na haki zetu Wakenya tupiganie, na vijana wetu Wakenya, Wakenya, vijana wetu Wakenya tuwatetee, na wamama wetu Wakenya.